Today I'm going to show you how I built this simple console table and made it look old. I aged everything on this from the wood to the nails to hold the wood down to the hardware on it to give it that old antique barn board look. Before we get started, make sure you hit that like and subscribe button. It really helps out a channel like mine. Now let's get to the build. My goal was to make this project as inexpensive as possible. So I went to the hardware store and I found these pieces of pine shelving. These usually on retail for about $10 a piece anyway, but these ones were on a salvage rack. They had some cracks and knots in them, and they were $1 a piece. So I picked up about 10 of them, and I know I'm going to have to use a couple of extra pieces once I cut out the bad parts, but it's more than worth it. The overall dimensions are going to be 40 inches long by 29 inches high and 11 inches deep. I'm going to start off by making the legs, and I want the legs to be 2.5 inches by 2.5 inches. So I got to cut two pieces, one at 2.5, and the other will be minus the thickness of the board, so 1.75 inches. Once I get all 8 pieces cut, 4 at 2.5 and 4 at 1.75 inches, I'm just going to roughly cut them to length. It's not going to be exact right now. I'm using a very simple leg design where I'm essentially just butting 2 pieces of wood together and gluing them, but I feel like this fits the old rustic kind of look for the table I'm going for. Once they're all dry, take them over to my miter saw and I'll square off one end of them, set up my stop block, and cut all 4 of them to exactly 28 inches. And I'm going to give this a real quick sand before I assemble it. It's nothing crazy, I just don't want any splinters or glue squeeze out to show up later. I mean, after all, I'm going to be beating this up to give it the distressed look, so this will be the quickest sand job I've ever done. Now for my apron to go around the table, I'm going to have that 4 inches wide. So I'm going to set up my saw to 4 inches, and I'm going to rip a couple strips. I need roughly 8 feet of 4-inch strips. For mine, it's going to obviously vary on your table if you make it longer or smaller. And just given the state of some of these boards, I won't get the full length due to the deficiencies and stuff in it. So I'm going to rip 2 or 3 strips like that and then pick from that what I need. Now I want the overall length of my table to be 40 inches, and I also want to leave a 1/2 inch reveal on the tabletop all the way around. So the length of my aprons are going to be 39 inches to allow for that 1/2 inch on each side. So I'm going to cut 2 of those. So for the overall width of the table to be 11 inches with a 1/2 inch overhang, the base needs to be overall 10 inches wide. But when taking into account, I've already got my long aprons, and they're 3/4 inches each. That's another 1.5 inches. So the overall width that I need to cut for this is 8.5 inches. So I'm going to cut 2 of those, and that'll be my 4-inch apron all done. So now I'm going to rip down my lower apron. And these strips are going to be used to be the framework for the lower shelf. And I'm just going to rip those to 2 inches wide. No real reason, just kind of what I think will look all right. To start assembling the base, I'm going to start with the short side. And what I'm going to do is just put glue on here and clamp it till it dries. And once it's dry, I'm going to use some other kind of fastener. I'm just not sure what yet. I'm toying with the idea of some old nails if I can find them. If not, I'll just use some dowels. Now that my end pieces are dry, I've got to put on my long apron. And just the way I did the math, and I deducted that 1.5 inches from this side piece, so I can leave this the full length I needed. I know I can just come up flush to the end of that. So it's nice, and it's a nice easy reference point. There is absolutely zero reason for you to watch me to glue and clamp again. You've already seen that. A far better use of your time is hit that subscribe button and turn on the notifications so you can see when the next video drops. Now I went ahead and cut 2 identical length pieces here, just to give me a nice base to set this on and handle it a little easier. Now that the base is finished, I just measure for my 2 shelves, head over to the table saw and rip them down. The tabletop was 40 inches long by 11 inches wide, and the bottom shelf was 36 inches long by 7 inches wide. And I'm just going to set everything in place to make sure everything fits properly. Perfect. Now, before I assemble everything, I'm going to beat it up and give it that distressed look. It's going to be a lot easier to do than when it's all put together. And to do that, I'm just going to use, one is going to be a wire brush, hammer, and this medieval looking thing, which is just a piece of wood with a bunch of nails sticking out of it. And I'm just going to just beat it up here and there. No rhyme or reason to it, just going to do some damage. I start with the wire wheel and just pick random spots to raise the grain. This just kind of gives it the look like it's been worn. And when the wood's treated, it soaks it up a little differently too, adding some different shades and texture. I then take the medieval paddle and just smack it all over. This kind of gives it the look like there's been wood bugs in it or old nail holes. Then with the hammer, I just take turns hitting it with the claw and then flipping it around to hit it with the face side, dulling up the edges a little bit too. Realistically, that's where wood gets beat around the most. Once I feel like I've got enough damage done, it's time to prepare the mixture to give it that aged look. And the only thing I'm using here is literally boiled vinegar in a jar mixed with steel wool. The amount of time you leave the vinegar in the jar can affect the color and the darkness of the end result. So play around with that a little bit. For this particular one, I had it sit in the jar for about 4 hours before I used it. You can test it by using a piece of scrap wood and just dabbing it on there. Now it does take a little bit of time to dry and finish with the end color, so be patient. When I initially tested mine on the pine turned a tint of red, which I didn't like. So I made about 4 different batches with different amounts of steel wool and left them for different amounts of time, but I kept getting that red tint. The solution I came up with was to take some semi-transparent black stain that I had laying around, and I added to about half a jar of the solution. That way I could kind of mix and match the unstained jar and the natural jar. Wherever I felt I was putting the black stain on a little too thick, I would just dip my brush in the one without the stain and kind of dilute it down a bit. And the beauty with this stuff is, even when it looks like you just slightly damp the area, just give it some time and it will darken up. So instead of using dowels like I originally thought for some extra strength, I'm actually going to use nails. I thought that if I could come up with a way to make these nails look old, that they would fit in just perfectly and add a little bit of strength. So I did some Googling and I found a combination of uric acid and peroxide that's supposed to age this stuff almost instantly, so I'm going to give it a shot. What I'm going to do is just pour a little bit of this acid in over top of the nails. And I got this handle too, so I just picked this up for $1. Just want to see how that's going to turn out by using the same process. And I'm just going to soak a rag and let it sit in that for a little bit. Once they're done soaking, I'm going to pull them out and hit them with some hydrogen peroxide, and that's supposed to age them. So let's see what we get. Oh, and they also say do this in a well-ventilated area. So turn my fans on and set this outside. So I let this soak in the acid for about half an hour. And now I'm going to drop in the peroxide. All right, so the nails have been here for about half an hour, so I'm going to have a look at them. Oh yeah. Pretty rusty looking. I think that'll look nice with the rustic look I'm going for. Yeah, that looks old. I like that. I decided to treat these wall plates as well. These are actually meant to go on your studs to protect wires and plumbing from potential nail pokages when you're putting the drywall up. But I thought it would be a nice way to accent the table and the mirror to make them match. And while I was doing all that, that gave the table plenty of time to dry, so it's time to put the finish coat on. And for this, I'm just going to do a couple coats of Minwax polyacrylic. So now it's time to install the shelves. And to fasten these, I'm just going to use those nails that I made look rusty. I know normally you'd want to allow a little room for seasonal change and stuff, but with this piece, it's so small, and if it does end up having a hairline crack or something, it's just going to add a little character to it. So I'm not overly concerned with that. I am, though, going to pre-drill my nails. I don't think I have to, but this far along in the piece, I'm just going to be extra cautious so I don't split anything and have some of that bare wood exposed. And for the top, I'll just make sure that I've got an even reveal all the way around. And I just hammer in the nails close to flush, and I'll come back later with a nail set and give them an extra tap. I'll add nails to all four corners. Then I'll add my hardware. And last but not least, I'll add those wall plates that I rusted out. And I'm really happy with the way these turned out, and I think adding it to the mirror above is really going to make this look like a set. And with that, the table is done. This project was really rewarding. It was fun to try some new things, and I'm really happy with the end result. And the mirror just really adds to it too, so make sure you stick around to see that next video. Thank you so much for watching, especially for making it this far. I really appreciate it. Till next time.